Nick, can your heart stand it? We have here not one, but two gasoline electric hybrid vehicles. We have the granddaddy of them all, the Prius, and we have the new upstart, the Hyundai Ioniq.
It's the future.
Is it really?
I don't know. That's what we're here to find out. We're going to see if the upstart can go up against the Prius, which has been around for a good 20 years.
Let's do a tail of the tape. Both are mid-size sedans, yes?
Basically.
Okay.
They both seat 5.
Both seat 5.
One big difference is that the Ioniq has a 6-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. The Prius has a
electronically controlled variable transmission. So why don't we check and see how the Ioniq stacks up against the Prius?
That's the best idea I've heard today.
All right, Nick, why don't you tell me about this lovely 2017 Hyundai Ioniq?
Well, lovely's right. For a hybrid, I'm actually a pretty big fan of this car. We have a nice set of gauges in front of the steering wheel, which is where they should be.
Yeah. Now, there's a couple of things. I think it rides a little bit harsher than the Prius.
I like the seats in the Prius better. These are, they're a little flat.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of support, and having long legs myself, it kind of cuts me off mid-thigh. Headroom in the back for a plus 6-footer, it's a little tight. What do you think about power?
It's smooth enough.
139 net horsepower, which is more than in the Prius. I believe the Prius is 121 net horsepower. I do like the looks of this car better than the Prius.
The steering is just so light in this car. It takes absolutely no effort to turn.
The only thing is, Nick, we don't know what the price is on this vehicle.
That's right, and US pricing is announced for a well-equipped model like this. You're looking at about 30,000 US. All right, let's hop into the Prius.
Let's do it.
All right, old dude, what are we driving?
2017 Toyota Prius Technology. It's an acquired taste.
The instrument cluster is not in front of you. Instead, it's right there. It's right in the middle of the dashboard. I don't like that.
You got to give them credit. The graphics are large, very visible, and thorough.
You can hear the electric and the powertrain a lot more in the Prius than you do in the Ioniq. And that sort of lends to the Prius's character as being more of a futuristic time capsule from 2025 or 2030.
Transport Canada hasn't released figures on the Ioniq for Canada, but looking at the US, the EPA figures, the Prius is just slightly better city driving. The Ioniq, slightly better highway driving.
The Ioniq averaged 5 liters per 100 kilometers. The Prius is averaging 4.9. Both cars are going to get you great fuel economy.
The steering feel in the Prius is better. It's not as remote as in the Ioniq. There's a little bit of heft to the steering wheel.
All right, I think it's now time to find out the winner. I think the writing's on the wall.
So Nick, have we reached a conclusion?
Between these two, I'd rather park the Ioniq in my garage, simply because it just looks and kind of drives like a normal car, except it gets great fuel economy.
Fair enough. Actually, I tend to agree with you. The Ioniq is the Prius without the weirdness.
Exactly.
This is all angles, this is curves. This is very much a video game arcade inside. This is a normal sedan. It looks better. It does drive better for the most part. There's a few issues. It's not a complete wash for the Ioniq, but overall, I think more people, they'll be happier with the Ioniq.
That's my pick.
I have to agree. For Driving.ca, I'm Brian Harper.
And I'm Nick Tragianis.